So this section of the tutorial, what we'd like to do is to show you. This actually should have gone before the previous section, but what we're going to do now is show you how to find the code. Well, first how to set up an account, then go get the code, then build the code and run it by hand. So right now, so in the VM that Nadeau gave you, there's a pre-canned, pre-built VM image that came out of the release repository. What we're going to do now is show you how to build your own. And it's actually a lot easier than it sounds. Whoops, sorry, wrong slides. These are a little out of order. Where are we? OpenFlow. Developer hands-on. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is, if you have this set up, you know, I apologize, but there's enough people that have asked us how the heck this works that I think it was useful to go through. Setting up your Git account so that you can go get the files. It's also important to have your Git account set up because you can't check in any code unless you have a Git account as well. So we'll set that up, then we'll pull the code and build it and run it. So hopefully this probably won't take an hour, but again, feel free to, you know, load. You can do this in the VM that you have, by the way, in the Fedora VM. A lot of this work is going to be done on a browser, though, and feel free to interrupt me and wait. You know, I'll wait, help you out, get this set up. So, for starters, the developer wiki is your best friend, right? Go to the developer wiki, and all the stuff that we talked about today, and including the slides pretty soon, will all be here. So you can go here and check this out. So the first thing you'll find on the wiki are instructions for how to set up your Git account. Actually, we've already set up your VM, so we don't need to do this. But there's info here for the login, by the way. This is important for like 3 days from now when you forget what you were doing today. This is how you log into the VM, Mininet. Excuse me. So set up your Garrett account. So everything is single sign-on at OpenDaylight.org. And so you need to go to Garrett Setup, go to this URL. I believe you can click on this URL in the presentation. And then here you'll see there's a login to set up your account. And there's a really quick process. You give it your email address and so on. So let's actually try that. Whoops. Whoop. So if we go to the URL here, we go to sign up, and you follow the little instructions here. Whoops, come back. So you go here, fill out the form, pick a user ID, et cetera, et cetera. So your user ID, remember that because you're going to need that. So is anybody actually doing this? Can you raise your hand so I'll wait? Okay, go ahead. Like, raise your hand when you're done so we can continue. So once you have that set up, let me find the next thing here. So this is your sort of central point of contact. Like once you're set up, can keep coming back here. Let me resize this. All right. So when you guys that are signing up for accounts are done, go here, and you'll sign in here. So are you guys all done signing up? You all right? Cool. Santiago, you ready? All right. So go back and log in, and in the bottom corner you'll see it. There's a, it's kind of hard to see, but it says settings at the bottom there. I have a pointer right here. Click on settings. So we're going to need to set up your SSH keys so that you can pull the code. And you need to click on add key. So did I have... Oh shoot, I cut that slide out, sorry. All right, so this is easy. So all these instructions are on the wiki. So we'll just go back to the wiki and getting started for developers. Okay, here it is. So this is the part on the wiki here. So we'll go back here. So what you're going to have to do now is go into your VM, into the Fedora VM, log in, mininet, and you need to add your keys. And I have here it is. So here is how you find what your key is. So you go into your VM, and do I have, oh, it's not going to work. There it is. So that's how you reveal the key that's been generated for SSH. Actually, I think you should create your own SSH key. That's a good point. Hold on a minute here. Actually, I have the command here for you to generate. Is it in here? Where is it? Oh, here it is. I used to just have it here. All right. Here it is, SSH key gen. So you'll have to do an SSH key gen and generate your key. Actually, you have to do these 3 commands. Can everybody see those? And this is in your home directory. You have to make a .sh directory. Change the protections and then generate the keys. And then you should see this. And then you can, and actually I'd recommend don't choose a passphrase right now. Don't, keep it simple. Yeah, that's it. And then you can use the command I had before. So has everybody got that? I don't want to. Yeah. There's a link on the previous page. It says generating. Right here. See, sorry, it's hard to see. There's a hyperlink right there. You got it? It's kind of halfway down the page. Oh, sorry, wiki.opendaylight.org. So if you start there, let's go back to the beginning real quick. Maybe I went too fast. So if you go to wiki.opendaylight.org, you go scroll down, getting started for developers. Okay. And then from here, scroll down, pulling, hacking, and pushing code from the CLI. And we have set up Garrett. And then if you scroll down here a bit, so you've set up your Garrett account. If you scroll down about halfway down the page, there's instructions for generating your key. I swear I'm going to just go through and make a step-by-step thing of this because this drives me crazy. I've done this 3 or 4 times now, and I understand you know, where the hell are you going? You got to go here, here, and there, and start at the right place. That's why we're trying to do this, so we can get through this together. So you generate your key, and then you view your key. You're doing this all in the VM, right? Not on like on your local host, because I mean it's okay if you do it on your local host, but you'll have to build on your local host. So do this in the VM, in the browser. There's a like bring up the Chrome browser that was in there. So once you do that, where's my VM that I had? Oh, right here. So once you have the VM, where is my VM? Oh, there it is. You display your key and copy it and paste it into the spot where you add the key in the Garrett setup. Sorry, yeah, here it is. So you can see here. So in the Garrett window, where was my Garrett window? Oh, up here. So when you went to add keys, a little window will pop up that'll say, paste your key in here. You paste the key in here and say, OK. Yes. Mininet?
For the VM?
For the VM?
Does it work?
Can you go take a look?
Here.
Okay. All right, so once you get the key installed here, now you can test to make sure that this worked. Sorry. So what you can do is you can SSH to Garrett. So if you scroll down here a little bit, you SSH on this port. Actually, I have a slide here which will show a little bit better for you. Where did my slide go? Too many windows open now. Oh, here it is. Nope. Where did my slides go? Sorry about that. I guess I'll just start my slides again. Is that going okay for everybody? You be able to paste the key in and get that in there? Yeah. If you what? Yep. No. You can, well, no, generate it in the VM because it's unique to where you're generating it. You can have multiple keys, actually. Oh, well, you're right. You can copy, but you have to use it where you generate it. It has to be the key that when you go to do Git, it sends that key. Right?
It's got a pair, the
right.
public and the private. You just copy both of those into your VM. I mean, you can generate it anywhere, right? You just need to copy them.
Right. No, I understand. I'm just saying for ease of use, just try to just keep it in the same one for now. Because what will happen is you're going to send that key when we do a Git pull, and if it doesn't match your login and everything else, it's not going to work right. Okay, so here we go. Okay, here we go. Here's my slide. So this is how you test to make sure that your key has been installed correctly. So you can SSH, again, in the terminal, run SSH, and it's got to be to port 29418. And so this SSH username, that's the username you just chose in Garrett. And so I show the output here for mine, and it should give you this output just with your name. So you should see this as your output. So, are you able to do that? Are you having trouble doing that? Anybody trying? No? No? Working out? Okay. All right. I'll assume nobody's having trouble unless you raise your hand. So once that's set up, go into the terminal and you want to make a directory that's going to house your controller code. So at the top of the VM, I just use OpenDaylight as my root, and then make a directory called controller. It's important that it's called controller. Go into that directory and issue this command. Of course, and again, username here is your Garrett username, not your local, not Mininet or something, or whatever your local VM is later. Yep. Yep, this is in the VM in Fedora, in the terminal. The same place you just did where you showed your key, where you did the cat command to show the generated key. So, and so once you have that rocking, let's go over to my VM. Okay, so and once you do that, so see, I've issued my command here includes my Garrett ID. And I'm going to get the controller.git. Incidentally, there are different packages, different bundles for different for different projects. So there's other projects here like OVS, et cetera, that you can get. And so you clone the controller and it'll go download all the artifacts. And it may take you a bit longer if you're doing this over Wi-Fi. I've got a dedicated connection for this. But I'm sure everybody next door is doing this too with the demo that's going on, so this may not be spectacularly fast. There we go. That's not bad. And incidentally, all these tools are installed in the VM. So this is one of the bits of heartache that you have to go through if you're doing this on your own. This is why we put together the VM. Like installing, you'll see in a second, we're going to use Maven to build, for example, and on some versions of Linux right now, there's an older version of Maven that doesn't quite work right, and it is a pain in the ass to set it up. All right, so thanks Madhu for setting up the Fedora for you guys, because I think it's in Debian. Like if you pull the latest Debian, it doesn't have the latest Maven, and you have to go mess around to get it to work. Okay, cool. And then also Git is installed as well in the VM. So in a normal VM, Git isn't installed by default. Okay. Yeah, right here. Make sure that it works too when you load it on. Oh, you don't have it? Okay. On some of the sticks, incidentally, some of them are corrupted randomly. We don't know why. So if you try to load it and it breaks, just borrow a stick from somebody or let me know. Sorry. Yeah, so there's a hyphen versus an underscore. And so the OVS file name is change the name of the whatever the VMDK file is. I think the VMDK has an underscore instead of a hyphen. Long story. Yeah, it should match the OVS file name, because if you look in the OVS file, it's just an XML file, and you'll see the name at the top. It says blah, 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 dash, not underscore. You could actually change that to an underscore, and it'll work too, but whatever.
I think this VM will be available also in short time, right?
Yeah, we're going to put the VM up. So, and I'll show you in a second, or actually, as part of your demo, there's a whole bunch of VMs you can just download, and we're going to put this one up there as well. So, but it's 8 gigs or something, so you might as well get it while you're here. All right. So back to here. Okay, so we've pulled the code now. So what you need to do now to build, oh sorry, I didn't see you. You have a question? So you have to make the directory for OpenDaylight in the controller. Go into the directory and then git clone. Is that big enough for you to read? I should have just put all this in a script in there and they could have all the commands. These commands are on the wiki too, by the way. But sorry, you can't cut and paste from the projector. We're working on that for the helium release. That'll be in there. Okay, you got it? All right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build it. So we're going to use Maven. The command is mvn. And you have to set a shell variable first. That's actually a lowercase, not a capital. I don't know why. Why PowerPoint insists on changing all of the cases of everything. So you want to do a setenv maven ops. And so what this does is it gives it 1 meg, and actually you got to change the max perm size 2 to 1 meg. I think on the wiki it still says 512, and you actually need about 800 now to build it, and so it'll blow up unexpectedly. So go ahead and set. Do that. This is all on one line too, by the way, and that's a dash. So I can show you here. Where is Mininet, yep. Try again. Caps lock. It should work. That's what it's set at, unless somebody changed it. Yep.
There's no set end, so you can export.
Or export. I use T-shell. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I used.
Well, I'm just saying that the end started using bash by default. So.
Oh, it's using bash. So. Cool. So there you go. Come back here. Come on. All right. And so this is how you build it: Maven clean install. This option skips the tests that are run on the classes and stuff. I recommend you just do this for now. It'll make it build faster and so on. Although when you normally, when you're finally working on the code, you actually want to run these tests, because these are the sort of functional automated tests that you'll need. There it is. And so you issue your Maven clean install, and it should build. And it takes, on my machine, it takes about a minute and a half to build the whole thing. And let's hope it works. Let's hope nobody busted the build. Yeah? Yes. Maven clean install, this guy.
So minus XX.
Oh, sorry, up here. Minus capital X, MX 1024M. No space, yep. Dash XX, colon, max perm size. Got it? Oh, you need it. Oh, sorry. Let's make it a little bigger. You got that? Lewis, can you log in over there? That Mininet thing? Was he able to log in?
Oh, yeah. Two people is because they were downloading the data stack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they have 2 VMs in the USB, so.
Cool. I forgot about that. So are you all set over there with the options? Okay, good. Let's see if we're built. All right, we are, yeah, blew up. Nice. This is the one of the features of a continuous build environment. You sort of roll the dice sometimes. So I don't. Yeah, well, okay, plan B. Well, so at this point, running the controller is straightforward. I'll show you how to run it. It's not going to run now because the build didn't work. But, so this is how you run the controller. Take a look in this directory, in the snapshot directory. And see, I mean, in the target directory. So this is how you run it. You got to go down here and run the run SH script, and that'll load it. And in fact, you'll see the same output you do in your canned VM if you run the automated tests, where we have the pre-built version running. And then point your browser at port 8080 on your local host, and you should see that. And this you saw during Madhu's thing just now, so you've probably seen this already. Cool. So that's it for my session. Do you have, yeah, I was going to say, do you have questions?
When we get into such problems, what should we do? Like last week I had
Yeah, try it again in a couple of minutes. No, I mean, you can go look. Well, seriously, I mean, it happens to me randomly. I mean, someone checks something in and it breaks, and then you know, it's, you can actually, yeah, so that's a good point. I was going to show IRC running. So IRC is a good place to go. And I talked about running IRC earlier. This is actually a plugin for Firefox, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to go find an IRC client. There's a client built into the browser. And you connect to Freenode. And this is the OpenDaylight thread that's ongoing. Maybe there is a comment here about a broken build. No. Huh. Yeah, but so here, I mean, this is a great developer tool. So if you want to talk to people that are working right now, and like if you built this just now and it's broken, you could go on here and say, hey, who the hell broke the build? What's going on? And someone will hopefully respond. People are pretty good. I mean, because what will happen is someone will check the thing in and they'll build it again immediately and go, uh-oh, I broke it, and then they'll go fix it. I think people have been pretty good about that. That nobody's going to check it in and then go away for 8 hours and leave it broken. Or they're going to have problem checking anything in again later. So.
one thing, Tom. I remember at the beginning that there was some recommendation to clear the cache as well when you have problems building and so on. Is still the case?
It might be.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be my issue for building too.
Yeah. The problem if you clear the cache is that everything is going to be downloaded again. And it's a lot of things, actually.
There's a lot of stuff.
Madhu said the entire wall will come to your laptop. Yeah. Oh, here.
You don't have to do the arbitrary, that's why you blew up, maybe because of the memory.
Yeah, that might be. Well, actually, I was building just fine over here. Yeah. Like a half an hour ago. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Yeah, anyway. But anyway, so this is just a good example of, this is not a perfect environment to work in. So give it a shot. Give it a try. I mean, are there any other questions? I mean, have people actually tried to get this rocking?
I had a question on the earlier presentation.
Yeah.
You talked about RPCs between the components.
Yep.
Could you just go on where RPCs are used? Are these bundles, separate processes?
The RPC, oh, the code generated by Yang. Right. So those are the MD-Sal stub code that's generated. Yeah. So this is, well, they're just functions that are generated. I mean, you put them where you need to put them for them to work. They're not specifically placed somewhere. Is that what you mean?
No, I'm saying is the plugin runs in its own process based on the controller and is an RPC?
I think today they're in their own thread. In OSGI, they're in their own thread. They don't have to be, right? Like OpenFlow plugin runs in its own thread when the bundle is loaded. We're actually looking at that because it's kind of a scale issue. Performance is an issue, right? So we're looking at that now. I mean, if you go look at OSGI when it's running, they're like, I don't know, 20, 30 threads running or something, right?
Yeah, more.
Or more, yeah. It's too many threads.
Having different threads is one thing, but is the call from if they're different threads within the same process, the plugin could call the controller inline, right? There's no need.
Yeah, well, exactly, that's one of the issues is, I mean, forget about the RPC, forget about the SAL mechanism, right? But just the normal communication between bundles, right? That happens with, that there's some overhead associated with that. And so you eliminate that by putting them in the same bundle. But
Is some of this described in
yeah, there's actually an example on the wiki, and there's a presentation too that Jan put on. Let me go find the wiki. I think there is. Oh, it's not here. This is the basic thing. OSGI, Maven, controller. Da, da, da. Oh, it's on the presentations, right? It's at the bottom. Okay, so on the basic, yeah, on the developer wiki at the bottom. Where is Giovanni's thing? No. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this, I think this presentation goes through the MD-Sal stuff. You can also ask Jan for, I mean, he has a slide, I mean, he did a tutorial next door, like at 1 o'clock today. So there is a slide set that goes with that, so you can ask him. But there's a whole tutorial that he did about how to build stuff, and Tony is here as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's also in the controller wiki, I think, a specific part for NDSAL and how to...
There's one example, too,
Exactly.
and I can't find it. It's a little example.
The controller project. It used to be there, actually, very clearly when you start the controller project, or that is NDSAL. Yeah, model-driven SAL main page.
There it is.
There you go.
Ah, okay, here it is. Sorry. I knew there was this here. Yeah, so there's a whole thing here, developer guide, et cetera, et cetera. So check that out. Cool. Sorry, I can't see. Any other questions? Yeah. You tried to import it into what?
Eclipse.
Oh, Eclipse. Oh, that's a whole other bunch of fun, getting Eclipse to work. So there's, actually, Madhu was going to do that, and I was going to do that, and it fell off. So I think Brett Salisbury has a really good tutorial on YouTube if you look up OpenDaylight space Eclipse, he actually has a whole thing where he walks through how to do it. Basically, after you've gone through the 20 steps it takes to install Eclipse, you basically point it at the top of this code tree that we've just pulled down in Git and say, go swallow that thing, and it imports it and sets it all up nicely. I mean, I have...
Yeah, I imported the projects and all imported, I can see it.
Yep. It won't run? Oh. Does it build on the CLI, though? I don't know. We would have to take a look at it. So, okay.
Yeah, I think for this question, the IRC is very good.
IRC is excellent, yeah. Although you can't...
People are building all the time, and they are using Eclipse and so on. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I think we'll call it a day for now. So is there a break now, or do we just want to jump in and wrap it up?
what time is the next?
It's 4:30.
Yeah, but what time? It's like in 10 minutes or something. I will need some time to
Yeah,
put my stuff there. So
yep. So we'll take like a 5-minute break, and then Lewis will get in and
the final.
do the final section. Yeah.